gentlemen, life is not always going to be easy. We all face moments when it feels like the world is crashing down around us, when negative feelings seem to hold us captive, and when the weight of our struggles feels unbearable. But let me tell you something. You are not defined by your circumstances. And your past does not have to determine your future. We often find ourselves stuck in the past, dwelling on mistakes, missed opportunities, or the weight of regrets. We replay moments that cause pain, and in doing so, we convince ourselves that we are defined by what has happened to us. But the truth is, your power lies not in the past, but in the choices you make today. You are not your mistakes, you are not your failures, and you are certainly not the limitations others may have placed on you. You are a person in the process of becoming, constantly evolving, constantly rebuilding. You see, the moment we realize that we have the ability to change is the moment we reclaim our power. Too often we believe that change is something out of our control, something that only happens to us, or that requires extraordinary circumstances. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are the author of your story. You have the pen in your hand, and you have the power to rewrite any chapter anytime you choose. Number one, I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by negative feelings. I've been there. Stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and frustration, unable to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But here's the thing. Change doesn't happen by waiting for it to come. Change happens when you take the first step, even if that step feels small or uncertain. It happens when you decide that you are no longer willing to accept your current circumstances as your destiny. If you want to rebuild yourself, you have to first embrace the idea that you are not fixed. Your potential is limitless, and every challenge you face is just an opportunity in disguise. I don't care what anyone has told you or what you may have convinced yourself to believe. You can become whoever you want to be. It all begins with shifting your mindset. Every setback, every hardship, every failure has one thing in common. It is temporary. The pain you feel in the moment may be real, but it is not permanent. That's the power of change. It gives you the ability to rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. But to change, you must believe in your own ability to do so. Belief is the foundation of all transformation. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you're not capable or that you've missed your chance. But that's a lie. The only thing that stands between you and your potential is the belief that you cannot achieve it. When you shift your thinking, when you choose to believe in yourself, you unlock the door to the life you truly deserve. Take a moment and think about all the things you've accomplished in your life, even the things that seemed impossible at the time. Reflect on those moments when you didn't think you could push through, but somehow you did. Maybe it was a difficult job, a personal setback, or a situation that felt like it was too much to bear, but you made it through. Those moments prove something incredible. You have already shown yourself that you can overcome, and now you have the chance to show yourself again. The person you are today is not the person you have to be tomorrow. You can reinvent yourself at any moment. You have the power to break free from the negativity that holds you back. No one else can do this for you. The power is in your hands, and it always has been. There's no magic formula for change, no secret that others have that you don't. The secret to rebuilding yourself is simple. Decide that you will no longer settle for mediocrity, that you will no longer let your circumstances dictate your happiness. You must declare that you will rise no matter what, and that you will never stop becoming. Today is the beginning of your transformation. You are not bound by the things that have happened to you, and you are not limited by the fears and doubts that hold you down. You are free to rebuild, to grow, and to step into your future with confidence. So I ask you, what will you do with the power to change. The choice is yours. It always has been. You see, one of the most powerful shifts you can make on your journey to rebuild yourself is to take full responsibility for your emotions. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our emotions are something that just happened to us, that we are victims of our circumstances. We often tell ourselves, I feel this way because of what someone did to me, or I'm upset because of this situation. And while it's true that life can present us with challenges, the power to choose how we respond is always in our hands. When we take responsibility for our emotions, we stop seeing ourselves as powerless. We stop blaming others or circumstances for how we feel. Instead, we realize that our emotional state is a direct result of the thoughts we allow to dominate our minds. This realization is liberating because it means that we have the ability to change how we feel by changing how we think. And that, my friends, is where the power lies. Imagine for a moment that you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off in traffic. Your initial reaction might be anger. Your heart races. Your thoughts get clouded with frustration. But here's the thing. You don't have to react that way. You can choose in that moment to take a step back and decide how you want to respond. Instead of letting that moment dictate your emotional state, you can choose to let it go, to not give it any more power over you. The truth is, every emotion we experience is a result of a thought or belief we are holding on to, a belief about ourselves, a belief about others, or a belief about the world around us. If you believe that the world is against you, you'll experience a constant stream of negative emotions. If you believe that people are always trying to hurt you, you'll live in a state of fear and anger. Whatever you believe to be that which you experience is what you will become. But if you can change those beliefs, if you can challenge those negative thoughts, then you can change how you feel. Taking responsibility for your emotions means recognizing that no one else controls your happiness. You're not at the mercy of other people's behavior. If someone says something hurtful, you have the choice to decide how it will affect you. You have the power to let it slide off your back or to let it destroy your day. It's all about perspective and control. When you choose to take ownership of your emotions, you regain the power to choose how you feel, no matter what external forces may be at play. This doesn't mean that we deny our feelings or suppress them. We all experience pain, frustration, sadness, and anger. These emotions are natural, and they're part of being human. But taking responsibility means not allowing those feelings to control us. It means acknowledging our emotions, understanding where they come from, and choosing to release them when they no longer serve us. You don't have to carry around negativity just because it showed up uninvited. One of the most transformative practices in taking responsibility for your emotions is learning to interrupt negative thought patterns. Our minds are incredibly powerful, but they can also be our worst enemies if we allow them to spiral into negative loops. Think about the times when you found yourself stewing over something someone said or replaying a failure over and over. The more you think about it, the more intense the emotion becomes. But you have the power to stop that cycle by simply recognizing it, catching it in a moment, and shifting your focus. Now, on that note, instead of thinking, I'm so angry at this person, shift your thought to something like, I choose peace. I'm not going to let this moment steal my joy. It might feel awkward at first, but over time, your mind will start to accept this new way of thinking. When you begin to control your thoughts, you begin to control your emotional responses. Taking responsibility for your emotions also means not holding on to grudges or resentment. These emotions are like heavy chains that keep you anchored to the past, preventing you from moving forward. The longer you hold on to anger or bitterness, the longer you remain trapped in a cycle of negativity. But when you let go of these emotions, you free yourself from their grip. Forgiveness, whether it's forgiving someone else or forgiving yourself, is one of the most powerful tools in rebuilding your emotional health. Ultimately, taking responsibility for your emotions is about empowerment. It's about understanding that you are the captain of your emotional ship. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but you have the ability to steer your own course. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you stop letting life control you, and you start controlling your life. You begin to realize that how you feel is always within your control, and that truth is one of the most powerful and liberating realizations you can ever have. Shifting your mindset is one of the most profound steps you can take in overcoming negative feelings and rebuilding yourself. The way we perceive the world and ourselves shapes how we respond to challenges and setbacks. Too often we find ourselves stuck in a negative loop, believing that things will never get better, that we are not capable, or that we're just unlucky. But the truth is, our mindset is not set in stone. We can choose to change it. And when we do, we unlock an entirely new way of living, thinking, and being. It all begins with the realization that our thoughts create our reality. The way you think about yourself, your circumstances, and the world around you directly influences how you feel and what you do. If you believe that you're not good enough, that the world is full of obstacles, or that things will never improve, you are setting yourself up for a life of struggle. But if you shift your mindset to one of possibility, growth, and resilience, you open yourself up to endless opportunities. Your thoughts are the lens through which you see the world, and if you change the lens, the world around you changes. One of the most powerful ways to shift your mindset is to change the language you use both internally and externally. Think about how often you use phrases like, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "this will never work." These words reinforce the belief that you are limited, that success is out of reach, and that you are destined for failure. But when you start using empowering language, when you replace "I can't" with "I will try" or "I am capable," you begin to open doors that you never thought possible. The words you use shape the reality you create, so make sure they empower you. A mindset shift also means seeing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your well-being. We all face difficulties in life. We all encounter moments of failure, rejection, and disappointment. But what separates those who rebuild themselves from those who stay stuck is how they respond to these challenges. People with a fixed mindset see failure as an end, a confirmation of their inadequacy. But people with a growth mindset view failure as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey to success. They understand that setbacks are not signs of weakness, but opportunities to learn, adapt, and improve. One way to shift your mindset is to start reframing negative situations. Instead of thinking, "This is too hard," try thinking, "This is an opportunity to learn something new." Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what you can do differently next time. Every obstacle can become a lesson in disguise if you're willing to change your perspective. This simple shift in thinking can make all the difference in how you approach not just challenges, but your whole life. Shifting your mindset also involves practicing gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's not going well, to dwell on the things that are going wrong, but when you choose to focus on what you're grateful for, on the people, experiences, and opportunities that are present in your life, you begin to rewire your brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude has a powerful way of changing your focus from what's missing to what you already have. And when you focus on abundance, more of it naturally flows into your life. At its core, shifting your mindset means embracing the belief that you are not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of your own reality. Life doesn't just happen to you, it happens for you. When you change how you see things, the things you see begin to change. Every challenge becomes a chance to prove your resilience. Every setback becomes a chance to rise again stronger. When you shift your mindset, you stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable walls and start seeing them as hurdles to jump over, as mountains to climb. You become more resourceful, more innovative, more resilient. The world becomes your playground, and you realize that no situation, no matter how difficult, has the power to define your future unless you allow it to. The journey to shifting your mindset is not a quick fix or a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It requires consistent effort to challenge your old thought patterns and replace them with new, empowering ones. It requires patience with yourself and the willingness to embrace discomfort as part of the growth process. But I promise you this, if you commit to shifting your mindset, you will see a transformation in your life that you never thought possible. The moment you change the way you think is the moment your entire reality begins to shift. So ask yourself today, what would happen if you chose to see the world through the lens of possibility, growth, and strength? What would happen if you embraced every challenge as an opportunity to become more of the person you were meant to be? That is the power of shifting your mindset. Developing mental resilience is one of the most essential skills you can cultivate in the journey to rebuild yourself. Life will not always go as planned. In fact, it really does. There will be moments of disappointment, failure, and heartache. You will face challenges that seem insurmountable, setbacks that feel like they're taking you backward instead of forward. But resilience is what allows you to rise every time life knocks you down. It's the ability to bounce back, to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Mental resilience is not about avoiding adversity. It's about how you respond to it. It's about developing the strength to face difficulty with determination and the willingness to continue even when the road ahead looks uncertain. It's about recognizing that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward success. Resilience is built through adversity, not in the absence of it. The first step in developing mental resilience is accepting that challenges are part of life. We often wish for an easy path, for a life free from struggles, but the reality is that growth only happens when we face challenges head on. Every difficulty, every hardship is an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, and more equipped to handle the next challenge. That reason, when you stop viewing adversity as something to avoid and start seeing it as something to embrace, you shift your perspective from a victim mindset to a warrior mindset. You begin to understand that it's not about the challenges themselves, but about how you choose to face them. A crucial part of building mental resilience is learning to stay calm and focused in the face of adversity. When things go wrong, it's easy to panic, to spiral into worry and fear. But resilience requires that you maintain your composure, even in the most trying circumstances. One of the most effective ways to build resilience in these moments is to take a step back, breathe, and give yourself space to think clearly. By staying grounded and focusing on what you can control, you create a sense of stability that can carry you through the storm. Mental resilience also involves developing a growth mindset, as we discussed earlier. When you believe that challenges are opportunities for growth rather than signs of failure, you open yourself up to learning, adapting, and evolving. Resilience doesn't mean that you never feel pain or frustration. It means that despite those feelings, you keep moving forward. It means that you believe in your ability to grow stronger no matter what happens. Every failure, every setback is a chance to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. Another important aspect of mental resilience is practicing self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you make a mistake or face a setback. The inner critic can be loud, telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed. But mental resilience involves silencing that voice and replacing it with kindness. Be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that you are doing the best you can and that setbacks are not a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of the journey towards success. When you show yourself compassion, you build the emotional strength needed to keep moving forward, even when things are tough. Building resilience also requires a strong support system. No one becomes resilient in isolation. We all need people who can encourage us, who can lift us up when we're feeling down, and who can remind us of our strength when we forget it ourselves. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, or colleagues, the people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your ability to stay resilient. They provide perspective, motivation, and support when you need it most. When you lean on others, you remind yourself that you're not alone in your struggle. Finally, mental resilience involves developing perseverance, the ability to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. There will be times when you want to quit, when the road feels too long and too hard. But resilience means that you keep pushing forward, one step at a time, even when the progress seems slow. It means that you don't give up on yourself, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. Perseverance is the key that unlocks the door to success. Remember, resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you develop over time. It's built through small, consistent actions. Every time you get back up after a fall, every time you keep moving forward despite doubt or fear, you build your mental resilience. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. And as you develop it, you'll find that you not only become better at handling challenges, but that you also become more confident in your ability to overcome whatever life throws your way. So don't fear adversity. Embrace it. Know that it's through facing hardship that you build the mental resilience to achieve your dreams, to live the life you want, and to become the person you were meant to be. Resilience is not about being invincible. It's about being able to stand up no matter how many times you fall. Surrounding yourself with positivity is a fundamental piece of the puzzle when it comes to overcoming negative feelings and rebuilding yourself. You may not always realize it, but the environment you place yourself in, the people you interact with, the spaces you occupy, and the messages you consume plays a huge role in shaping your mindset, emotions, and overall well-being. The energy around you directly affects the energy within you. If you're surrounded by negativity, doubt, and pessimism, it's incredibly difficult to maintain a positive outlook or to rebuild yourself in a meaningful way. On the other hand, when you choose to surround yourself with positivity, support, and encouragement, you create a fertile ground for growth, healing, and success. The first step in surrounding yourself with positivity is evaluating the people in your life. Think about the individuals you spend the most time with, your family, friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. Do they uplift you, encourage you, and believe in your potential? Or do they drain you, bring you down, and reinforce your doubts and insecurities? While you can't always choose your family or coworkers, you can choose who you spend your time with and how much access you give others to your energy. People who are consistently negative or unsupportive can have a toxic effect on your mindset. Their criticism, complaints, and judgments can chip away at your confidence and keep you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. To rebuild yourself, you must consciously surround yourself with individuals who inspire and motivate you. These are people who see your potential, even when you can't see it yourself, who celebrate your wins and who offer guidance during your struggles. These individuals don't just offer support, they challenge you to be better, to push past your limits, and to become the best version of yourself. The right people make you feel seen, heard, and valued, and they give you the courage to take bold steps toward your goals. Seek out those who lift you up, not those who drag you down. It's equally important to surround yourself with positive and empowering messages. In today's world, we are bombarded by an endless stream of information. News, social media, advertisement, and even the casual conversations we overhear in public spaces. Much of this content can be negative, fear-driven, and full of despair. If you spend too much time absorbing this type of information, it will shape your worldview and influence your emotional state. That's why it's essential to be intentional about the messages you consume. Fill your mind with content that inspires, educates, and encourages you. Seek out books, podcasts, documentaries, and social media accounts that promote growth, success, and positivity. You can also take control of the messages you expose yourself to by practicing mindfulness about what you watch and listen to. For example, consider replacing mindless scrolling on social media with reading uplifting books or listening to motivational podcasts. Choose to follow people who share messages of empowerment, growth, and possibility. Your mind is a garden. What you plant is what will grow. If you want to cultivate positivity and resilience, you must plant seeds of inspiration, encouragement, and hope. The spaces you occupy also play a significant role in your mental and emotional state. If your environment is cluttered, disorganized, or filled with reminders of past pain or failure, it can subconsciously affect your mood and your ability to move forward. Create a physical space that reflects your goals, your vision, and the person you want to become. This could mean decluttering your home or workspace, decorating with items that inspire you, or spending time in nature to reconnect with yourself. A clean, organized, and peaceful environment fosters clarity of thought and promotes a sense of calm and positivity. Equally important is the practice of self-talk. Often we are our own harshest critics. The way we talk to ourselves has a profound impact on how we see the world and how we feel about ourselves. Negative self-talk, such as thinking, "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never succeed," only reinforces feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, affirms your worth, capabilities, and potential. Replace thoughts like "I can't" with "I can," and "I'm not enough" with "I am enough." The more you speak kindly to yourself, the more you build your own confidence and resilience. Beyond the people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and your physical environment, it's essential to build a routine that promotes positivity. This includes practices like gratitude, meditation, exercise, and journaling. Gratitude, in particular, is a powerful tool for shifting your mindset. By consciously focusing on what you're thankful for, whether it's the people in your life, your health, or the simple joys of the day, you train your brain to seek out the good in every situation. This creates a more positive outlook on life and helps to drown out the negativity that might otherwise overwhelm you. When you surround yourself with positivity, whether through people, messages, environments, or habits, you give yourself the best possible chance to rebuild, grow, and thrive. Positivity isn't about ignoring the challenges of life. It's about choosing to focus on solutions, strengths, and opportunities, rather than on limitations, weaknesses, and problems. The more you fill your life with positivity, the more resilient, confident, and capable you will become. So make the conscious decision today to curate your life with intention. Surround yourself with positivity and watch how it transforms your world from the inside out. I know in my heart, filled with confidence, that nothing will transcend my goodness, even you. Taking consistent action is the bridge between intention and transformation. It's one thing to have dreams, goals, and desires for your life, but it's another thing entirely to make those things a reality. Many of us have the best of intentions, great ideas, aspirations, and plans, but without consistent action, they remain just that, ideas. Consistent action is the key that turns dreams into reality, and it's the engine that drives you forward on your journey to rebuild yourself. The first thing to understand about consistent action is that it doesn't always need to be big or monumental. Success is built through small, deliberate steps over time. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the idea of making massive changes in your life or accomplishing huge goals. But the truth is, the most successful people are those who consistently put in the effort day in and day out, no matter how small the steps may seem. Think about a person who is training for a marathon. They don't wake up one morning and run 26 miles. Instead, they start with small runs and gradually increase their distance. Each small effort compounds over time, and before they know it, they've reached their goal. The same principle applies to rebuilding yourself. Small, consistent actions lead to big results. One of the biggest barriers to taking consistent action is the fear of failure. Many people avoid taking action because they're afraid of making mistakes, of not doing things perfectly, or of not seeing immediate results. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is a teacher, not a verdict. Every time you take action, whether it's successful or not, you learn something valuable. You discover what works, what doesn't, and where you need to improve. The most resilient people are not those who never fail, but those who embrace failure as part of the process. Taking action despite the fear of failure is what builds the momentum necessary for success. Another key aspect of consistent action is developing discipline and perseverance. It's easy to be motivated when you're excited about a new project or goal, but motivation can fade quickly when obstacles arise or when the excitement wears off. Consistent action requires you to show up even when you don't feel like it. It requires you to push through the moments when things get hard, when progress seems slow, or when distractions try to pull you off course. Discipline is about committing to your goal even when the initial excitement has faded, and continuing to take action regardless of how you feel in the moment. It's not about waiting for the perfect time or the perfect mood. It's about doing the work even on the days you don't feel like it. To maintain consistent action, it's helpful to break your goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. When you look at a goal as a whole, it can feel overwhelming. Whether you're trying to start a business, write a book, or get in shape, the magnitude of the task can make it difficult to know where to begin. But when you break the goal down into smaller pieces, it becomes much more manageable. Instead of thinking, I need to lose 50 pounds, focus on one small action at a time, like walking for 30 minutes a day, or meal prepping for the week. Each small action leads to another, and before you know it, you're making significant progress. Another powerful strategy for taking consistent action is creating a routine. Routines help you stay organized, reduce decision fatigue, and create a sense of discipline. They provide structure to your day and allow you to dedicate time to your goals without constantly having to figure out when or how you're going to take action. For example, if you're rebuilding yourself after a setback, set aside specific time each day to work on your personal growth, whether it's reading, journaling, exercising, or reflecting. By making these actions part of your daily routine, they become ingrained habits that require less effort to maintain over time. Routines create consistency, and consistency leads to progress. It's also important to remember that consistent action is about progress, not perfection. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. The fear of doing something imperfectly often stops us from doing anything at all. But here's the reality. Perfection is an illusion. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward. The key is to focus on progress, no matter how small it may seem. As you take consistent action, you will improve, adapt, and grow. And it's this growth over time that leads to transformation. Lastly, don't forget the power of celebrating small wins. Often we're so focused on the big picture that we forget to acknowledge the progress we've made along the way. Every time you take action, whether it's a small step or a big one, you are moving closer to your goal. Celebrating those moments of progress keeps you motivated and reinforces the habit of taking consistent action. It reminds you that you're on the right path and that each step, no matter how small, is valuable. In the end, rebuilding yourself is about showing up day after day and doing the work, no matter how challenging or uncomfortable it may seem at times. The more consistent action you take, the more momentum you build, and the closer you get to becoming the person you want to be. So, don't wait for motivation or for the perfect time. Take action